Hi. So I was recently watching this Adam Savage video where he was making the Leviathan axe from God of War, and to make it, he printed out all of these little pieces of paper, parts of the picture, and then overlaid them taped together. And he said this.
So each time I'm going to do the print, I'm literally just selecting a portion, printing that, and then overlapping heavily to do another one, and then overlapping, overlapping, overlap. It's like poor man's tiling, and I still maintain that it's ridiculous. There's not a great piece of software for this.
And that's not true. There is actually a really great piece of software that you can use to do this. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. I've downloaded this image here just from DuckDuckGo of the Leviathan axe. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not actually going to be making a cosplay, but it's a perfectly fine example because that's what Adam was making in the video. So the tool that I'm going to be using is called rasterbaiter.net. It's a tool for making any image into a large scale poster, but it works perfectly fine for what we're doing here, and I'll show you how to get the scale that you want using this, because it isn't necessarily intuitive right away. So you click Create Poster, and we're just going to drag our file in from my desktop. And so we can see that so my printer uses US letter paper, so I'm going to switch to that first. And I'm going to click the overlap setting so that the pictures will overlap and I can tape them together the way that Adam does in the video. So then once I have the overlap set and the paper size set, I'm going to set the output size to one sheet high. No, one sheet wide. And this is going to print it very small. That's intentional. That's okay. So I'm going to click continue. No effects. Because if you try and use one of these poster tools on cosplay prop, it doesn't usually work very well. You end up with something that looks like this, and that's not useful for what we're trying to do. This will be very pixelated, but that's okay because we're going to be cutting it out anyway. So make it black and white because the color doesn't really matter for our purposes. Keep going, and we want the crop marks and we want the page position. It's not relevant for this first image, but that will be relevant for the tessellated version once we print that out, so that we can tape them together correctly. So I click complete one-page poster, and it's going to create a PDF of this. And this first step is important, and I'll show you why in a moment, but I'm just going to go save this file, and I'm going to go print that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've printed out the PDF that we created. It looks like this, and what I've done is I've just taken a ruler and measured it. So I know this is just about 7 inches. I'm doing a little bit of rounding here just to make things easier on myself. You can choose to do rounding or not yourself when you're using this technique. It's really up to you. But once I have that, I do a little bit of math, and it looks like this. So I know that my PDF that I just printed out is 7 inches, and we made it 1 page wide on the Rasterbaiter website. And I want my prop to be 3 feet. That's just what I've decided. You can choose whatever you want for your prop to choose whatever scale. Convert that to be the same units as whatever you measured your PDF to be. And then you can just solve to find out exactly how many pages you should print out the prop on using the Rasterbaiter website. And it's important that you do the step to convert it to a PDF at the 1 sheet scale first, because if you do this with the wrong, so here I've just printed the image without running it through Rasterbaiter first, and you can see it's at a different scale. So if I use the measurements from this and then run the image through the Rasterbaiter and try and scale it, I get a very different result. So we'll just go back and modify the rasterbation to set up the size that we want our prop to be when we print it out. So as you can see from my math, and I've rounded this because the input on Rasterbaiter only takes so many digits, so you do have to truncate at a certain point. But we just type in 5.1429, 0.1429, and you can see it even shows a silhouette of a human, so you can get a judge of whether you're close or not, whether it looks right. So that's what I would do, just using the measurements. Now, if I had not run it through Rasterbaiter first and zeroed out my scale effectively, I would have instead gotten 4.6452. So I'll just show you 4.6452. Um, and it's not a huge example, but it is the wrong scale. So you want to make sure that you're zeroing out your scale first by setting the Rasterbaiter to one page, saving that PDF, and make sure that you print the PDF and not the raw image file so that you get your scale correct. So then we choose the correct number again, 1.1429 pages wide. Click continue again, and it should just save all of your settings from the first time, which is why I set them before. And then it says complete 12-page poster. So we click print, or we click save the file, and I'll just open it with Firefox to show you that it does in fact create there we go. The axe with overlap for you to glue the pieces together, exactly how Adam does in the YouTube video. So there you go. And it has the marks so that you can align the overlap, even if your prop isn't as detailed as this axe is. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching.